The whole struggle of life is to some extent a struggle about how slowly or how quickly to do each thing, says Sten Nadolny, author of The Discovery of Slowness. In 1898, Morgan Robertson published Futility, an eerily prescient novel about the folly of pursuing the transatlantic speed record at any cost. The story begins when a company unveils the largest cruise liner ever built, a practically unsinkable craft capable of traveling the high seas at full throttle in any weather. However, on its maiden voyage, the ship slices through another vessel. A witness to the accident decries the wanton destruction of life and property for the sake of speed. And the name of the fictional ship was Titan. And 14 years later, in 1912, the Titanic slammed into an iceberg, killing more than 1,500 people. The sinking of the unsinkable Titanic had all the makings of a wake-up call to a world enthralled to speed. Many hoped the tragedy would force mankind to pause for breath, to take a long, hard look at the cult of speed and see that the time had come to slow down a little. But it was not to be. A century later, the world is still pushing to do everything faster, and in the process, paying a heavy price for it. The toll taken by the hurry-up culture is well documented. The case against speed starts with the economy. No doubt, modern capitalism generates extraordinary wealth, but at the cost of devouring natural resources faster than Mother Nature can replace them. For example, thousands of square miles of Amazonian rainforest are cleared every year. Klaus Schwab, founder and president of the World Economic Forum, said about need for speed that we are moving from a world in which the big eat the small to one in which the fast eat the slow. Today, this warning resonates far beyond the world of commerce. Guy Claxton, a British psychologist, says, acceleration is now second nature to us. He added, we have developed an inner psychology of speed, of saving time and maximizing efficiency, which is getting stronger by the day. But now the time has come to challenge our obsession with doing everything more quickly. Speed is not always the best policy. Philosophy of Slowness says we must understand evolution works on the principle of survival of the fittest, not the fastest. Remember, who won the race between the tortoise and the hare? As we hurry through life, cramming more into every hour, we are stretching ourselves to the breaking point. According to Philosophy of Slow Living, inevitably, a life of hurry can become superficial. When we rush, we skim the surface and fail to make real connections with the world or other people. As Milan Kundera wrote in his novel, Slowness, when things happen too fast, nobody can be certain about anything at all, not even about himself. All the things that bind us together and make life worth living, community, family, friendship, thrive on the one thing we never have enough of, time. So it's high time we must consider the damage that living in the fast lane can inflict on family life. And if we carry on at this rate, the cult of speed can only get worse. Problem is when everyone takes the fast option, the advantage of going fast vanishes, forcing us to go faster still. Eventually, what we are left with is an arms race based on speed, and we all know where arms races end up, in the grim stalemate of mutually assured destruction. Much has already been destroyed. We have forgotten how to look forward to things and how to enjoy the moment when they arrive. Actress-author Carrie Fisher says, "Our impatience is so implacable that even instant gratification takes too long." This partly explains the chronic frustration that bubbles just below the surface of modern life. Anyone or anything that steps in our way, that slows us down, that stops us from getting exactly what we want when we want it, becomes the enemy. Today, the smallest setback, the slightest delay, the merest whiff of slowness now provoke rage and fury in otherwise ordinary people. And this is where our obsession with going fast and saving time leads to road rage, shopping rage, relationship rage, or office rage. Thanks to speed, we live in the age of rage. In this media-drenched, data-rich, channel surfing, and computer gaming age, we have lost the art of doing nothing, of shutting out the background noise and distractions, of slowing down and simply being alone with our thoughts. In a way, we are all fast thinkers now. Philosophy of Slowness says, fast and slow do more than just describe a rate of change. They are shorthand for ways of being or philosophies of life. Fast is busy, controlling, aggressive, hurried, superficial, and impatient. Fast is about quantity over quality. However, slow is the opposite. It's calm, careful, receptive, unhurried, and reflective. Slow is about quality over quantity. It is about making real and meaningful connections with people, work, food, and everything. The paradox is that slow does not always mean slow. As we perform a task in a slow manner, often yields faster results. So, it is also possible to do things quickly while maintaining a slow frame of mind. The slow movement is not about doing everything at a snail's pace, nor is it an attempt to drag the whole planet back to some pre-industrial utopia. On the contrary, the movement is made up of people who want to live better in a fast-paced, modern world. One leading proponent of slow living movement is Carlo Petrini, the Italian founder of slow food. This movement dedicated to the very civilized notion that what we eat should be cultivated, cooked, and consumed at a relaxed pace. Carlo Petrini says, being slow means that you control the rhythms of your own life. You decide how fast you have to go in any given context. If today I want to go fast, I go fast. If tomorrow I want to go slow, I go slow. What we are fighting for is the right to determine our own tempos. That is why the slow philosophy can be summed up in a single word: balance. Slow living says, be fast when it makes sense to be fast, and be slow when slowness is called for. Seek to live at what musicians call the tempo giusto, or the right speed. There is still time to change course, though speed, busyness, and an obsession with saving time remain the hallmarks of modern life. A powerful backlash is brewing. The slow movement is on the march. Instead of doing everything faster, many people are decelerating and finding that slowness helps them to live, work, think, and play better. However, even when we long to slow down, we feel constrained by a mixture of greed, inertia, and fear to keep up the pace. But in a world hardwired for speed, the tortoise still has a lot of persuading to do. What's more, once people reap the rewards of slowing down in one sphere of life, they often go on to apply the same lesson in others. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. Thanks for watching.